What's up guys, it's Matt the Woodshed Barber back again with another haircut tutorial, and this time we are doing a cut on my pal Bo, and he's got some very fine, just fine textured hair, and you're going to see how I kind of tackle his fade. Now we go pretty aggressive on his sides and back, but you guys will see how that translates. So right now I'm just starting off doing a center guideline, just a very thin mohawk section, and just getting the contour that I want, going from the front of his head all the way back to the crown. And what I do is I use that cut right there to establish my center guideline for whenever I come from the back. You can see I'm pushing forward, redirecting forward to make sure I get all that evened up. Coming back through on the other side and just reconnecting that. And guys, a lot of times, sometimes I'll contour to the shape of the head, sometimes I'll go what I call flat to the top. And this time I'm contouring more to the shape of his head because of the aggressive fade we're going to be doing on him. But here we go, you can see that I'm combing through, doing some scissor over comb. That is my favorite comb for any kind of scissor over comb, clip over comb. That comb right there is the GOAT in my opinion. But just making sure we don't have any peaks, making sure everything is nice and solid across that top. Now like I said, his hair is a very fine texture. So going through, making sure it's nice and even. Doing a little bit of trimmer over comb just to be able to get those little side peaks down. Now guys, I'm going to be coming through and you're going to see several trimmers in this video. This is a time where I was testing out several different ones, kind of comparing them against each other. But you can see I'm going through and I'm putting him in his bald line. I'm starting off with the Low Pro FX. You'll see the FX3 in here. You're going to see the Evo with the X Pro Precision Blade, which I think is a great combo. Not enough people are talking about that combo right there. But just going through. Now you may be asking, why would you use such a small blade for balding out? Well, right here I was just kind of testing out how good it did bald out. But especially if you're doing a very low guideline, or even doing stuff around the ears with kids, having this very small blade is very nice for that. This is kind of adding on to my last video I did where I talked about how these tools nowadays are coming to us so highly tuned that you have to really be nitpicky to see which ones you like versus which ones you don't. You can see right here I'm comparing both X Pro blades, which I think are the best blades on the market right now, between the Saber and the Precision one that I have on the Evo. Now guys, I'm coming through with my Wall Senior that has the Filthy Blends bracket on there with my Fat Master blade. That's right, this is one of those videos where you're actually going to get to see how I use my Fat Master. Right now I'm coming through with it all the way open, which is around a 1 3/4, not quite a 2, but really close to a 2, depending on how you have it on the blade. And I'm just coming through and I'm taking that all the way up and creating my base layer. Taking away a lot of that bulk. Now I'm coming through with my Z-Clipper from Voyagers, which is pretty much the Stylecraft Instinct, all the way open with a taper blade on, so it's just right under a 1. And you can see how this is going to leave me a solid, smooth cut without a whole lot of effort to blend in. Now I tend to work around the head instead of making the head work around me. I have conversations talking to them through the mirror. That's just how I prefer to barber, guys. You know, I feel like having face-to-face conversations, you know, makes you closer to your clients. And I have no problem moving around. And honestly, I think it's better on our feet and our knees over time to actually shift more side to side and move around the chair than just sitting there stagnant and just moving the chair. Me personally, that's how I like to do things. Now you can also see I went around with it closed to make sure I have everything tied in real nice and tight to that bottom layer of the fade. Now I'm coming through with a 1.5 open, which is kind of softening that connection to the top. And now I'm coming through with a 1 open and blending that 1 into that Fab Master. So you can see, guys, it leaves a very smooth finish. Now doing some clipper over comb with the 1 guard, what that does is kind of like a softening effect. Instead of it looking extremely harsh with the lines that you're putting in, having a guard on there or using a longer blade with clipper over comb has a nice soft effect of how it transitions into scissor cut lengths. Just going through and texturizing up top with some texturizing shears, some blending shears. I really hate the term thinning shears. I think it's gotten a bad rap just because of that name, even though that's technically kind of what it does. It's mostly putting in texture. So you guys know that. I'm preaching to the choir here. Going through and being a little bit nitpicky. Coming through with the FX3 shaver and just balding out that bottom area. You can see one thing I do is I start going with the grain, and I come back down against it, or come back up against the grain. Getting a little nitpicky, just going through and just kind of fine-tuning that fade, going through my clicks, seeing what I need to do, going through some different lighting options as well. Only problem with having a garage barbershop is your lighting is not always what you need it to be. See, I'm just kind of fine-tuning and buffing out those areas. This is where having very fine hair gets a little tricky, especially whenever it's slightly, blondish in color. You have to really be sure that you're not leaving any creases, any lines in the fade, because it will show up. Setting the vertical line in his beard. You see that little area right there? I'm just going in and fine tuning. Sometimes that's what we have to do, guys. We have to go back through with a critical eye and fine-tune our fades. It's what you do after you've done the haircut that makes it go from good to great. I actually recorded this probably about 6 months ago. Have finally gotten around to editing it. So there's a lot of tools at this point that I had not experienced yet. My station looks much different now, and here soon we'll be doing a shop tour of sorts, getting to see all the the smorgasbord of tools I get to work with on a daily basis now. It's crazy, guys, for real. I like to use compressed air just to get all those little hair fibers off of them. Coming in with just a little bit of product. Guys, this is just what I consider the best part. The hot lather neck shave, just completely, it's all fluff and pageantry, but they really appreciate it, especially that hot towel right there at the end. Well, guys, that is the cut. Please hit that subscribe button, like down below, comment down below. Let's keep those comments humble and kind. And as always, I'll check you on the next one.